Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams and welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Divine. All that they can do at this point, people who have tried to oppose you with attacks, trying to bring harm your way, all they can do at this point is throw darts. And the darts aren't able to reach you because you've chosen to ascend. There's someone who's trying a lot of useless tactics because they are in a complete state of frustration at this point in time. 111 on the timer. The portals in your life take you to a higher place. You are divinely aligned, and that is your highest source of protection. Everything that comes from you, your creative energy, your love, your words, they're aligned with where you're supposed to be and what you are meant to bring to this world. Your choice to focus on your mission, the mission of your soul, is greater than any armor as far as protection is concerned. Your ancestors and spirit allies know that what you've chosen to do is work that needs to be done. And so they will always ensure that you are surrounded by their protective energy. If you notice any illusions around you, illusions of control, fear, chaos, that someone's trying to send your way, just know that that's because that is where they vibrate, in those frequencies of chaos, fear, and control. But they do not have any control over you, beautiful being, because you are free. Ashe. Thank you, Divine. Let's start with the archetype deck. See what's coming through. You got King and Hermit. There's some really beautiful energy that you're experiencing because you chose to be in hermit mode. You chose to study. You chose to be silent. There's a lot of value that you gain from tapping in, tuning into sources of wisdom, other divine beings that also are committed to a beautiful path of ascension. But you're also keeping in mind, you're very aware of the value of silence, because there's a lot that divine itself, that your ancestors and spirit allies have to share with you. And so sometimes when we're tuning into other sources of wisdom, whether it's books or videos or readings or whatever, podcasts, it's wonderful to do that. But it's also important to remember the value of just going to the divine within, because there's a wealth of information. It's an abundant flow of information that's there for you as well. 444, and it brings you protection. And you've been doing this too. You've been tapping in to the divine for yourself. Yeah, Ooh, and I love how this came right under the Hermit, because your willingness to go within and your willingness to study is like its own form of exorcism. You know what I mean? It's forcing out the negative energies. And it does it automatically. It's like there's a certain level of warfare, spiritual warfare, that you won't have to manage so much now, simply because you are choosing to vibrate higher. There are a lot of attacks that you'll be aware of now, that people who have declared themselves as your enemy, they will send, but they will not impact you in a negative way. And also another thing is that you're going to notice how their attacks are instantly transmuted into your success. Yeah. These negative energies that try to bring destruction your way, they're going to notice that as I'm seeing somebody shoot arrows or darts, as they throw darts or shoot arrows your way, they're instantly going to be challenged. Not with something in their life, but the challenge that they're going to face when they do these things, or when they try to do these things to you. The challenge that they're going to be faced with is witnessing your success. Every time that someone wishes ill on you, every time that someone wishes destruction for you, they're going to witness just the opposite. They're going to see you win. They're going to see you experience a victory. Then their karma will set in. But that's initially what they're going to have to face. That is the initial challenge that they will experience when they throw something evil your way, is they're going to witness your success, your abundance, flowing freely. Divine says that this is a testimony of what those who remain faithful to their true path will experience. Your enemies will witness your victorious destiny. Ashe. Thank you, Spirit. Yeah. You're exercising some sort of gossip. It's just like Charlie Brown. Womp, 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 womp. Okay? Nobody's listening to anything that is intended to destroy you. That doesn't mean that people aren't trying to stir the pot. That doesn't mean that people aren't trying to get something going in order to bring you down. Yeah, they're trying to cook. They're trying to do all of that. But every single bit of energy that they put into trying to destroy you and work against you, it's wearing them down. And what some of these beings don't realize is that it might not be wearing themselves down in that moment, but something within their life. It could be something within their life that they want to see succeed that is not experiencing success because they're trying to destroy someone else. Yeah. You're not going to have to fight in the way that you perhaps thought you had to before. There's something about something being easier than what you always thought it would be. I'm getting that this could be spiritual warfare. It's like your spirits are fighting your battles. And the way that you fight is by doing what you are here to do, to create, to love, to serve humanity in whatever way you've been called to serve. But there's like this, I was getting the cards ready and I pulled the distance card from the Crow Oracle deck. And it's something about you distancing yourself from other beings that have intended to destroy you, to bring harm your way. 10-10 on the timer. This is your Wheel of Fortune. And things are spinning in the right direction. Yeah. Your alignment is your protection. What else, Spirit? There's something about indulgence here. Gossip about indulgence. What is this, Spirit? Gossip about indulgence. Please clarify this. What indulgence is this? The Six of Pentacles and the Hermit. Please clarify. The High Priestess. Ten of Swords. The Magician and the Hierophant. There's something that came to an end and you know about it. It was something about an exchange of energy between people or among people. This Six of Pentacles, I'm getting the energy of oversharing here. Like, someone followed somebody into treachery. There was something that someone was participating in that was just too much. This could have been unhealthy relationships. On either side of the Six of Pentacles, we have the High Priestess and the Hermit. So you know about this intuitively, and you've also picked up on clues about what was going on. This is something that was intended to bring about an ending for you, because the Ten of Swords is on the King. But we have gossip down here. It was intended to bring about an ending for you. It was manufactured chaos. The Hermit is right above the Magician. So this is something that somebody cooked up or something that somebody created. It's something that someone designed. It was like a plan for oversharing. Please clarify Six of Pentacles, Divine. What's this Six of Pentacles? Yeah, you were opposed to it. You decided to mind your business and do what you chose to do. And this has taken a long time. You've refused to get into this mess, into this nonsense. And you're shining because of that. This was trickery that was designed to get you away from your path as a spiritually wise being, a Hierophant, a teacher. It was designed to distract you. Divine, what was the nature of this Six of Pentacles? I know it involved gossip. It sounds like something, it feels like something that someone was trying to be lured into. Perhaps some people were lured into this. Source code, infinite possibilities of how something can be shaped or altered. Underlying structure. So somebody was using technology to develop some sort of plan or some tricks to trap you. What else about this Six of Pentacles, Divine? Yeah, they wanted you to be completely uninhibited. Now, this isn't about like being free to be yourself. This is that someone wanted you with these two cards together. It's like they were creating a trap, wanting you to fall into some sort of chaos, manufactured chaos. What about this chaos, Divine? There could have been lust involved. Yeah, they wanted you to be complicit in a trap. They wanted to use your energy, to siphon your energy. They wanted you to make poor choices. They wanted you to enter something blindly, where basically you were signing up to give away your energy. This is because you're abundant. I'm hearing you have the wealth code. Someone saw you as a source of wealth, but they wanted you to give away your power. They wanted you to think that they were supporting you, but they were not. They were actually trying to cause destruction. These could be the same beings, or this could be the same being that came through at the very beginning, where Divine was saying that you've chosen to rise above those attacks, because they still may wish to attack, but they've learned a lot about you. And now they realize that these plans for you will never work, because you've chosen to align with the divine. Yeah, they wanted you to enter into something poisonous, something toxic. Whatever this was, if you had gone down that path, it would have driven you mad, because there are people who chose to be involved in this whole Six of Pentacles, this oversharing, this, I keep saying the word lust. So there's something here about that, where they wanted to gain access to your physical energy. This says saying less is saying more. You didn't have to say a lot to reject this. Your actions said it all. I'm also hearing your actions set it off. I know there's a movie from back in the day. Queen Latifah was in it. It was about a heist, wasn't it? I don't think I've seen it all the way through, but I think it was about a heist. So yeah, there's something here about somebody wanting to do something behind your back where they were able to access your wealth. I'm hearing, but they wanted to get in through the back door. They wanted to come in a way that you didn't suspect. Also, there's something here about harming property. Mr. Fake Nice Guy. Somebody was pretending, or this could have been several people. It could have been a group. It could have been one person, but they were pretending to be nice, pretending to be kind. This whole process that you went through, because I'm seeing you like on an elevator. It's like, what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is somebody's trying to hold you hostage, but the whole time you're in an elevator. And so the whole time you're ascending, you're ascending. They were trying to attack you, you're ascending. They're trying to harm you, you're ascending. The whole time you made a conscious choice to allow this situation right here, which was a whole plan. You allowed it to inspire you to ascend. You allowed it to teach you. What I'm getting is that this, whoever this was who was planning against you, They didn't have the level of intelligence that they needed in order to con you. There were moments in time where, or phases where you could have felt very, you felt that you were being opposed. It was a challenge. But truly, in order to pull all of this off, whoever this was that was creating this plan, they did not have the intelligence that they needed in order to succeed against you. Because you're working with different types of intelligence. You have emotional intelligence. You have spiritual gifts and abilities. And the thing about it is that you nurture those abilities. It's possible that some people or a person who was trying to work against you had some of this high priestess energy, but they didn't nurture it. They were trying to use it for evil, to bind you to them, to use you. And so there's something that happened in this process that has changed the way that you believe about yourself. Someone wanted you to be blind to your greatness. They wanted you to be complicit in their tactics that they were using against you. But you chose otherwise. And so in a way, yeah, you did choose to be uninhibited, but not with them. Not for the purpose that they wanted to bind you and use you. You chose to be free in your energy, free with your gifts. Anything else, Spirit, from this deck? Oh, Russian roulette. Extreme risks without knowing the outcome. Chance, reckless, a false sense of control. And that's exactly what ended up this Mr. Nice Guy or this Miss Nice Girl. Whoever was trying to come into your energy and pretend to be someone that was trustworthy, they were playing Russian roulette. And that's what has caused them to lose everything. 22:22 on the timer. As you've become balanced, this person has lost control of everything. False sense of control. That's what they always had, was a false sense of control. They never truly had control over anything because they couldn't control their own energy. They're reckless. What else does this beautiful being need to know, Divine? Wow. There's something there about that Russian roulette. Somebody has really played way too many games. Way too many games. They've entered a very dangerous state at this point, either with the law or within their own energy. They've lost control of their thoughts. So there's some sort of mental breakdown that's going on within someone who is trying to hold you captive, either spiritually or in the physical realm or financially. You have unmatched purity of heart. That has been your protection. One aspect of your protection. Neptune in the 4th house. This is Cancerian energy, I feel. Also, there's something about your gut that was always guiding you through this. You've also learned to trust your intuition and your instincts. You can do that because you're aligned. You may be seeking solitude at this time. The Hermit card did come out. Divine is guiding you to share your creations, your creative energy. There could be something that you're inspired to create and share because of this experience. Go for it. Go for it. I keep hearing, okay, so that card, saying less is saying more. And then I'm hearing, don't speak, I know just what you're thinking. So please stop explaining. I know because it hurts. Don't speak. No doubt. Okay. Divine says have no doubt about who you are and what you create. There's somebody who wants you quiet. There's somebody who does not want you to speak. They want to fill you with fear, beautiful being. They want to fill you with fear. And this is the same fear that they are filled with. So basically, all they want to do is overflow their energy to you because they're full of fear. And one reason why they are so afraid is because they know that what they've done is ugly. It's hideous. It's not the version of themselves that they want the world to see. But it's the version that they showed to you. It's what you experienced. It's what you had to go through. And it's what you chose to go through with dignity and divine love. So this is now a part of your experience. You are meant to share. If there is someone who's trying to keep you quiet, it's just because they are so afraid. But that fear that they're feeling is coming from their own evil. It's coming from the fact that they made poor choices. That's not on you. And that's not your fear to carry within you. Okay? You're captivating. You're generous. There's something here about something that you create being very popular. And it's not about like, oh, you know, be in the popular crowd. It's not that. It's that it's going to resonate with a lot of people. Okay? You're very magnetic. There could be Leo energy here. Now there's someone here who is trying to work from behind the scenes. They're worried about their ego being fractured. This says fracturing ego structures. But I'm seeing this in two different ways. Okay, so the creations that you share, it's like you sort of fracture egos. It's not that you try to do that, but it has that effect and it's necessary. It's a frequency that's needed in this matrix. We need that frequency emitted throughout this matrix so that people can understand what is actually being done when they choose to act in a certain way. There are a lot of people who run around making certain choices out of a place of ego because they don't want their ego fractured. They don't want to feel that pain of a fractured ego. But that's necessary in order for them to evolve. You do that. You say what needs to be said. And with that, saying less is saying more. It's something about your creations, like maybe you create music, and so it's something about your art where you're not saying a lot, but it's something about just the frequency that it carries. It still gets everything done that it needs to do. It's something about the way that you communicate through your creations. You hit the nail on the head every time. And there's something that's so scary about that to someone that worked so hard to harm you. I'm also seeing that person in this card. Now you're captivating, but this person tries to be flamboyant. Also that card, oh, I haven't pulled from that deck. That was before I started this reading. I pulled the distance card and the influence card. It was about distancing yourself from negative influences. And I'm seeing this here. She's got a cigarette. No, I'm not hating on anybody who smokes. That's fine. Whatever. Do you, all right? Do what you feel you want to do, okay? But there's something here about someone who wanted to have a negative influence on you. And they were hoping to control you through that as well. So there could be somebody here who is trying to bring harm your way with substances. And I'm getting that these are substances that you did not want to be exposed to. It wasn't by choice, okay? It wasn't by choice. This was something that someone wanted to harm you with. Or they wanted you dependent on something that they knew would be harmful to you. But now this person is dependent on substances. That could be one reason why it was coming through, that they've lost everything. This is a person who is suffering from addictions, harmful addictions. There's something about your creative energy that it breaks down walls, it challenges egos. And someone who has attacked you is very, very afraid of what you create, the effect that that will have on them. But the thing is that your creations are not about this person. If you're channeling energy and you're channeling experiences that you've been through, go for it. But what you create is not their business. So they don't have a right, no one has a right to try to blindfold you, to try to put a muzzle on you, all right? Nobody can quiet you when it comes to your creative energy. You say what you want to say. You sing what you want to sing. You write what you want to write. Cook what you want to cook. Paint what you want to paint, okay? That is your business. But someone is working from behind the scenes to try to quiet you. They can't do that. And look, I'm seeing here, because it goes back and forth in my mind's eye, like seeing the person in the card that tried to attack you, and then seeing you in the card. So I'm seeing different attributes, different characteristics. But here I'm seeing Lilith with that red hair. That's your independence. That's your freedom. And so you are not going to allow anyone who's trying to work from behind the scenes to keep you quiet. You're not going to allow them to do that, because you do have an independent, rebellious vibe that is aligned with divine rebellion, so that you are always inspired to do what you came here to do. Supreme optimism. Exactly. I'm hearing that this is scary to someone. Your optimism is scary to someone, because you always get it done. You always do 3333 on the timer, what you came here to do. You're always building. Obstacles dissolve in front of you. I love that. Obstacles dissolve for you. And that's like the message that came through at the beginning. Like, somebody might be trying to throw attacks your way, but it's not even hitting you. It's like they just dissolve. And I'm seeing somebody like throw something at you, and then they're just like how is this happening? They're in awe, because they can't believe that all the same little tired tricks that they've tried before and that have worked on so many people are not working on you. But see, the reason why they don't work on you is not just because you're who you are. It's because you are here to help liberate others as well. And so it was time for someone who chose to attack you to understand that what they're doing is wrong. And as long as their tricks, as long as their tactics, their strategies were working, they thought that there was nothing that would stop them. And then they met you. They met the divine. And they realized that their attacks expired. They might use them, but they're no longer any good. We've got walks the path between worlds. That's exactly your energy, because you're not afraid of the darkness, and you are balanced with darkness and light. Also, you spot out false light. Okay, people who come in the name of all that is the highest white light and all of that stuff, and they're the most evil beings, okay? Trying to attack people, trying to destroy people's careers, people's destinies, and all of that. You're spiritually attuned. Also, you're not afraid to let things go that need to be let go, okay? There's harmony in your world. There's something about a committed partnership that is balanced and supportive. Something that will protect this relationship is not allowing yourself to be attached. Being grateful and being tuned in. But before the reading, I was thinking about Star Wars with Anakin and the way that he held on to Padme. It's just like it was a little too much, you know? And when we hold on to things in fear, that can be very dangerous. When we hold on to things to nurture them, and because we're committed and we're grateful for them, that's one thing. But when we hold on to something because we're afraid of losing it, that's very dangerous. And it blocks our ability to enjoy that success or that relationship or that harmony or whatever it is that we have in our life that we're so grateful for. As soon as we become afraid, and we want to hold on to it because we're fearful of losing it, that's when things go very left, very, very far to the left. So you will always be cared for, and divine will always ensure its protection over your divine blessings. So you don't have to fear, okay? Beautiful Venetian energy here. Venusian, I don't know, Venus. Supreme optimism, yes. So we went through all of them. Supreme optimism. That's Jupiterian energy as well here. You've got lots of success coming your way. Also, there's nothing wrong with your dreams. Everything is right about your dreams. There's Piscean energy coming through as well because it's Jupiter in the 12th house. There's something that you believe deeply. It's like you believe it in your heart, in your soul, in your spirit. And that's why it's manifesting for you. So if anybody has told you that you were ridiculous for your dreams, or that there was something that you needed to back away from because it was just too much, that was a lie. That was a lie. Okay? Thank you, Spirit. I'm going to pull from this. I don't know why. I just feel led to. Thank you, Spirit. What's coming through? Okay, we've got strategy. Employ the power of your vision and long-term planning to bring your ideas to life. So there might be something that you will benefit from strategizing regarding putting something into action. It's like you've got the idea. I see that here with the supreme optimism. It's like bringing your dreams into reality. So taking your dreams from a state of existing in your mind and on the astral realm and allowing it to materialize here in the physical realm. There's something that you already know that you have aligned for you. It's like something lined up. You just need to do it. So yeah, Fox Spirit says get it done. Also, warrior here, gather courage to confront issues you need to resolve so you can move forward. If there is something that you need to let go of, it was coming through a meditation You can gain closure between you and your spirits. If it's something that happened between you and another person, and let's say it keeps coming through to you, this experience that happened, and there's rumination, you keep thinking about this person, that means that there's something that your mind is trying to work through. It wants to bring a resolution to this experience. If it's a person that you are not in contact with, if it's a person who has like a being who came through in this reading wanted to attack you, that is not something that you want to do where you're reaching out to that person in order to seek closure, okay? But you can provide that closure for yourself. You can say what you need to say out loud. You can say what you need to say in a letter. You can put that energy into your creations, okay? Which really is what I feel Spirit is saying to do. Somehow you're going to channel a creation that gives you closure from something that you experienced, and it's going to help you to rise above whatever still needs to be worked out. Okay, you're going to rise above it by working through it creatively, and that is going to help you to ascend above this energy that could be still trying to work its way out of your life. Okay, the purpose is to complete a lesson, to complete a cycle, which you're doing beautifully. It's just that there's something else that is waiting to be formed within you that will help resolve this. And it does feel like it's a creative project. Let's see what else is coming through. Fast moves. Gather your resources to navigate different conditions and find creative solutions. All this quick energy, because the fox is a quick energy. And the squirrel, you know how fast they move. So there's something about, it feels like your mental energy, your swords. You're using your mind. There may be thoughts that keep coming through to you. Allow these thoughts to develop into a creative project. Channel them creatively. Put it in a song, put it in a poem. If you're a chef, that's been coming through. There may be somebody in this beautiful divine collective who's a chef. Come cook for me, please. You know, you could create a dish that's all about your experience. It's inspired by what you've been through. There's so much that's going to come from this for you. And it's going to be lucrative is coming through, but it's like Divine says that's not the goal. That's just going to be the byproduct. So the abundance that you gain from channeling this energy into a creative project is going to be the cherry on top. And that is truly what's coming through, because it's going to give you so much pleasure. I'm hearing pleasure, and it's going to process and heal the pain. Whatever pain remains, it's going to allow you to work through that. But it's going to bring you so much pleasure to create this, where you're just like, oh, and I get money too. I get some recognition too. Cool. It's going to feel so rewarding. Okay. And this was coming through with this warrior card. This is how you fight. You know, whoever this was that tried to bring harm your way. Now there could be, because air is coming through, the swords with the fox. And I'm just getting that air energy with the squirrel and the fox right now, because they're very quick. Okay, so the fox is very quick-witted, very smart, and then the squirrel moves very quickly. So that's like, for me, swords, like cutting through the air, right? But you may identify them with another element, which is just fine, but that's how they're coming through right now for the purpose of this reading. There could be something legal that you're going through. 4444, you are protected if you have a case that you are facing, okay, in order to bring justice in this situation. But I'm getting that you may be fighting that way. through the legal system, or you may be fighting creatively. That's how you're fighting. And that makes sense because creative energy is fire. So we can fight with fire, absolutely. But you're doing it to heal, to purify your world. When you're creating this beautiful project or whatever it is that you're designing and creating, and letting spirit move through you to produce, you're channeling. Okay, you're not doing it with the intention to attack someone. You're channeling. You're letting that energy move through you. And what happens, happens. The result will be a beautiful, unique creation that was meant to come from you. Thank you, Spirit. Let's pull a couple cards just to see what awaits you, and then we will close. Thank you, Divine. Okay, we've got love here at the bottom. You're blessed with love. It's on your path to experience divine love, harmonious love. Thank you, Divine. What's coming through for this beautiful being? A wonderful blessing. Blessings are gifts from the universe. Receive them and share them. And that's exactly what you're doing with your creative energy. Your creations are a blessing. And when you share them, you are giving. You're giving. Abundance. Abundance comes from inner fulfillment and outer effort. That's what you're doing. And that's what you're receiving. Yeah. So you're putting forth effort. Okay? You're putting forth effort to share something. And because of that, you receive abundance. And in that way, you're creating abundance in your life. And joy. As you create, allow yourself to feel joy. Allow yourself to feel whatever it is that's moving through you. If it's anger, feel it. If it's pain, if it's sadness, feel it. But just know that eventually what's coming is joy. And even if you create something in a state of anger, know that that is a blessing to be able to do that. There are so many wonderful creations that have come from someone's pain. And what a gift it is to be able to experience that. A creation that someone made when they were in that state. Because then when we're going through that, we can identify with that. We know that we're not alone in our anger. We know that we're not alone in our pain and our sadness. And that gives us joy. So what's coming through is, even if you're not creating in a state of happiness and joy, it is a joy simply to be able to create no matter what state you're in when you are creating, okay? Your entire creative process is a joy. Thank you, Divine, for these messages. I am so grateful that you allowed them to come through me. And thank you, beautiful being, for taking the time to tune in. I'm so glad you did. I hope you got something wonderful out of these messages, whether it was clarity or insight or just some good vibes. I love you, and I wish you peace. I wish you joy and so many blessings. Take care.